Hey, how's it going? Mike Marin here, and in this second video, what we're going to do is we're going to continue where we left off, which is the 7 steps from taking someone from cold to a sold prospect. So we covered in the last video going out and selecting your hunting niche. In this video, we're going to cover these 4 parts, which is gather and enrich cold email data, clean and verify cold email data, cold email copywriting, email system delivery. So for this process, I recommend outsourcing, gathering, the scraping. And so what I did was, after I had picked NeoGraft as the niche that I wanted to go after for the reasons that I just shared with you, essentially I wanted to scrape the data on the site. So the website was www.neograph.com/find provider. And at the time, they since moved it, but it was neograph.com find provider. And I just simply went to Upwork and posted this job description, which was looking for the title was list building scraping for NeoGraph service. And what I did was I said, looking for someone to gather data of all the NeoGraph providers in the USA from neograph.com and create a spreadsheet with the following data. Business name, I wanted the doctor, owner, CEO name, info at contact our company not allowed. This actually I don't do anymore. So I don't mind taking the info or contacts at the very beginning. So you could ignore that. I just did this for this. Doctor, CEO, first name, last name, business website, business address, business phone. Now, sometimes if you're getting someone to scrape a directory, it's not going to have the contact information so readily available. And actually, since I've trained this to a lot of people, I don't know if it's me, but maybe other people training it, there's a lot less sites nowadays that have a directory with the actual email address in it. So you usually got to 2-step that, which is basically get a list of all the email addresses, just the domains. So I get everything but the address, and then I will take that over to something like Hunter or Rocket Reach, right? Hunter.io, and you could bulk upload a list of all of the websites, and that'll start to get you the email addresses off that website. And there's tons of tools coming out. I don't want to be like so specific. I want to cover more of the principles and the thinking behind it, because this stuff's always changing, and I want to make this training evergreen for you guys. So and then I said, answer the following questions. How many providers are there? I knew roughly from that Real Self website, there was about 1,200 that are on Real Self, probably about maybe 2,000 NeoGraph providers. So I just wanted them to see if they could follow directions as well. So so that was kind of the what I did. Email scraping for MedSpa service right here. I said $150, very cheap, right? That's to get all this is pennies on the dollars. This guy came up, and I always have them do for one zip code and give me a sample. But this guy went out and this will happen. He did the sample. I said, hey, you're up for the job. And this guy actually just went and grabbed all this, which was kind of cool. And he goes, hey, Mike, results are here. Feel free to contact me if anything's wrong. Subduplicate one's another one with all the info and company at, that's actually the one I wound up using because it was such a small niche. And I want to pay him $100, right? So he put it all in a spreadsheet. Here's my previous file. I tipped him $110. We went back and forth, and he did all the things right. You can see this is the list right here. Company name, first name. He had all the emails in here. United States, everything. So it's, and what's great about a list like that is you could use that for direct mail. You could use it for, not that I did this, but if you want to, one of my mentors who built a very big agency business, they would hire people to cold call. So it gives you that option as well. Ringless voicemail, something that I did. So again, all different things that you could use with the phone numbers, right? Because the phone numbers come with it, which is pretty nice. So I then took that list and went over to my favorite tool, which is at Online Email Verifier. It's super cheap, and I uploaded it in here as a .csv. So I just took this file that he gave me right here, which was the CSV, put it up, selected the email. It went through and it verified all of it. And that, again, that's just at Verifier, and you can find that website. And this is what I got, right? All these things right here, which is pretty cool. Then I had my list. So that's kind of like step one, right? Which was gather, paid $110 for it, clean and verify it. That's a very important step because you don't want to be sending out cold emails to unverified email addresses. And I think about, maybe 20% were invalid. So that's what I did there. And now it's all about, cold email copywriting and getting that message delivered. So the funnel that I decided to use for this was a semi-custom video funnel. I personally like to go this route. If you're a big procrastinator, you can cut this out because some people just will procrastinate years on making this video. And you could, in the very beginning, like if you don't know the market, you can send out a quick email. But this is what I went with. Again, I'll show you this exact video. So my idea was to send out cold emails, have them watch this video here, really like a 12-minute video sales letter, VSL, you could call it. And in that video, show them like why I'm different, basically sell the service, give them some insights, give them some education. That's why I call it an education-based marketing video, and then get them to book on my calendar, right? So this is to do 80% of the selling for you. So you're not like hard selling. You don't have to be great on the phone. Like if you stink at sales, if you do the video right, like a lot of times they're coming pretty pre-sold and you just need that phone call to add that kind of human interaction to be able to, do the $3,000 to $5,000 a month. Because it's quite hard to sell a $3,000 to $5,000 a month thing, service per month if you don't speak to them on the phone. Now, if you want to, you can actually run this model, which is what I'm currently doing, just doing a VSL and then having smaller lead packages. So we have a business that mainly, it's in a different niche, but essentially it's self-serve, and we get a lot of referrals because the leads work. So with that, it's just we have a VSL. It's a lower ticket niche, so we sell packages of 500 and 1,000 leads. We're not going for the the $3,000, $5,000, $13,000 a month per month packages. So if that's another model, when you really get it dialed in, when you really have a lot of success stories, you could go that way. I didn't have any proof. I didn't have any testimonials. So I wanted to use proof element and use, the proof element of teaching, right? Like anytime you teach and you demonstrate that you can help them by actually helping them and showing them, what you're talking about, which you'll be able to do, which I've trained people to do following this format, then you don't need testimonials. And we'll see that I didn't use any testimonials. But essentially that was the funnel. The email I wrote is as follows. Subject line, very simple. Hey, customization team, right? And you could set that up with the email tools to take the company field from the Excel sheet. And it was really simple. Like, can you handle 5 to 10 additional NeoGraph patients each month, right? The whole idea of that is I just want to qualify. If yes, I think you'll like the video I made for you, right? And I really want to position this, like the first video I send out, I want to position it as training, right? I don't want to be like, hey, I want to sell you some leads, right? So it's like, if yes, I think you'll like this video I made for you. Link to video, and I did a little thumbnail of the video. This video shows you how you could generate an extra 5 to 10 new NeoGraph cases each month like clockwork without relying on referrals or risky advertising campaigns that never seem to work. Have a great day. Mike, my phone number. P.S. This is not for everybody and will only be a fit for those who can handle this many new patients. If you think you can, then go watch the video above and drop us a link and ask us how we get your phone ringing off the hook 3 days from now. Click here to watch the video. So this is a little hint that I have something to sell, but I really wanted to make it like, I'm giving you value, right? Like at the end of the day, a lot of reason why a lot of other cold emails fail is because, and there's this concept by Dean Jackson, it's like cheese or whiskers, right? Like, is it the cat that's going to eat you, or is it mice for the cheese, right? And I want things to be a lot less whiskers, the cat, and more cheese, right? So I'm like, this is value. And at the end of the day, you have to break through the noise. Like, we think when we write a cold email or do a marketing message that we're playing a game of catch with our prospects. The reality is we're playing a game like they're playing dodgeball. They get thousands of, marketing messages a day. So I really like to break through with value in any relationship that I start, in any business that I start, to get through that noise and then lead with that, reciprocity of like, hey, I helped them, I gave them an insight, which is really my goal anytime I create an education-based marketing material. So it's like subject line pretty simple, and then if you notice, it's not like, hey, here's how to do Facebook ads. Like, here's how to do, I'm going to rank your site number 1 to Google, right? Like, I want it to be different than anything else. I thought with this that like just by niching down to NeoGraft patients, that would be enough for this to be different. Like if I was to do this nowadays, I would add in some sort of other mechanism. Like, it might be like, here's how to get 5 to 10 additional NeoGraft patients each month, using TikTok ads, using multi-channel, something that they like, they wouldn't be hearing from everyone else, because that's always my thinking behind this. But I thought like, hey, let's go a little bit more like by going this niche. You could sometimes just go with a more of like a direct claim, because they might not, I don't think they're hearing that, because I knew NeoGraft was a like very niche down. And then I always think like, what's the currency? What's the outcome, right? Like I want it to be very specific, concrete, and tangible. Like when I help people with their copywriting, a lot of times it's like, I'm going to show you how to lose weight. Or it's like, I'm going to show you how to lose 5 to 10 pounds in 30 days. Like being specific and tangible is much better. And when it comes to B2B, like everyone wants more customers, more clients. Like you don't need to make it that creative, like 5 to 10 new NeoGraft cases, right? And that's very specific because I know that's their language. Like clockwork, without relying on referrals or risky advertising campaigns that never seem to work. That's kind of like the headline and the hook of this. And it's all about the 5 to 10 new NeoGraft patients. I'm not talking about leads or anything like that. So I just want to show you kind of the psychology behind that. So here is what it looked like when I sent it out. Again, the thumbnail here, you could Google how to do that with some basic HTML in there. But this is essentially what this looked like. How to handle 5 to 10. I sent this out. And this was the first one I sent to the cleanest email, so the ones that I knew was going to be sure. It was sent to 223, right? It was a 43% open rate, just that first go. And if you go here, they then were directed to a page that looked like this. Very simple page. You could build it with snaps. You could build it with ClickFunnels. And you just put a headline on here. Do you have the capacity for 100 plus hot leads each month? So I actually think that I changed this. In the beginning, I was like, do you have the capacity for 5 to 10 new NeoGraft cases each month? That was the original headline. So everything matched. If yes, click below, right? The thumbnail is here. 5 to 10, that's the currency, and this is a great headline formula, how to get what you want without things that suck, without boo, how to get yay without boo. And then here is click to schedule your no spin Q&A consultation. I just wanted to make it sound different than, I just made that up, right? I see people copy this and I'm like, that's not the point, right? Like if you're copying your click here to schedule your no spin Q&A consultation, that's not it. Like I just chose a different name so it sounded different. Like strategy session is so overplayed. You just, you call it, your 100K planning session. But that's really the here. And we're going to break down this video in another video coming up here. So I'll kind of walk you through everything that looked like. But what happened was, people started to watch the video. They started to book. There's Greg booking in here, free 15-minute business audit. Here, they said, hey, thanks for reaching out. You'll get people who are just responding like this, where it's like, I'm responding on behalf of Dr. Kearney. You send an email for NeoGraft. We'd like to get some additional information as well as pricing as for your marketing campaign. Can you schedule time to speak, right? So like they watch the video and my standard response is like, hey, first name, thanks for your interest. I'd love to hop on a call and talk details. Here's a link when you're available and we can pencil it in. I send a calendar link, right? Look forward to touching base. And again, that all directs back to this calendar that I had set up here, which says 15-minute audit call, right? 15 minutes. And they have all the times on my calendar to pick, which is pretty cool, right? So I'm getting notifications of like, hey, this person, and I use schedule once, it's like $19 a month. You can use Calendly, I think, which is free. I might move over to that. Haven't used it. But you'll get responses like that. You'll get others like this that won't book into your calendar, but it's like, hello, Mike. I reviewed the video and would like to talk to you regarding this. Please call me at your earliest convenience. And with that, like, honestly, I pick up the phone like, hey, I've been back to back on calls today. I just had a moment. I saw that you responded. Is now a good time for you? If not, let's get something in the calendar booked in, right? So just calling them up right away. You want to strike while the iron's hot, and if they say call, you call them, right? And then what I then did is, they booked on my calendar, had that 15-minute audit call, which we're going to break down, give you the script and all that. And when Greg was a fit, so we're following Greg here, like Greg booked, and then schedule it for the next day, or if you do the call like 9 a.m. in the morning, you can schedule it for later in that same day. But I really want that break between it. It's like the 2-call close just works much better when it comes to some people even, I think, call this like a triage call. It works much better, especially like if you're just coming off a straight cold and they don't know who you are, to give you a day. And then in between, you could also send out more marketing material. But essentially, I just broke down this, why I sent that email, the mechanics behind that. Again, you could just vary this up in the follow-up sequence, different versions of that. And then, here, we're going to, in the next video, what I'm going to do is I'm going to break down this, step by step, so you can see this. Then we're going to break down the audit call. Then we're going to break down this. And then, as you can see, $3,000 completed payment. And like this process, when I ran this, again, the final numbers was $60,450 in sales. And you could see, 3,000, 4,900, 1,000, 40. And this is all people like 72 hours before, 48 hours before, didn't know who I was, right? And again, the results from this campaign, I looked up the specific numbers just before creating this. Was to land a client $4,900 a month. The offer was 100 leads for $49. The total list size that I started with, although there's 1,200 NeoGraph providers, was just 222. And I've since made more in this niche as well. I just wanted to give you the snapshot in the first 77 days and what the profit was, because again, these are rebills. So these numbers are probably 4, 5, 10x from this campaign. But I just want to give you in the 77-day period, because I just want to show you, like, if you learn this process, you can bring in this money quick. So 18 calls booked, that's 8.1% of the list, which is that's not bad for 77-day period, right? 9 sales out of the 18 book calls. I converted 9 of them, 50% conversion, which turned out to be $60,450 in sales. Again, putting the money back into ad spend, as well as building out the websites. The total profit was $31,406, and that was all with an average profit per client during the first 77 days. Obviously, this went up. I just don't have all the numbers for that, so I just want to keep it simple. But that was all in 77 days. So that is the campaign. Again, we're going to break down all these little pieces in here, but really what I want to let you know is, like, you're only a couple skills away. Like, if your goal is to quit your job, you're only a couple skills away. Like, you learn how to prospect, you learn how to sell. Like, those are the two big things. And you got to have a service that you can deliver that is high ticket, high leverage. Like, if you get good at all 3 of those, you can literally write your own ticket, because strip you of everything, right? If you know how to get to a computer, send out a cold message, get people to be like, hey, I want what you're selling, right? Which is a skill. Right? You got to know how to position your stuff. You got to know some copywriting skills. You got to know that side of it, right? But if they could be like, hey, I want to talk to you, and then you know how to have a conversation, which you're going to hear me do. And then if you have a service that you can set up that doesn't take all your time, like, you can literally get to 20, 40 grand a month, and that's all you need. Like, literally all you need. By yourself, lifestyle business, and that's what I'm going to show with you guys here in this. And again, like every business, the way that I think of it is lead sales service. Like, you need to get a lead, which is the prospecting part. You need to make a sale, and you need to deliver a service. Like, if you want to be a personal trainer, right? That's the service. You learn something that you can provide. In my case, I think the smartest thing you can learn how to provide nowadays with AI is social media ads. And the reason is because the dirty little secret is it's almost all AI based. Like the targeting, which used to be a skill, like the way that Facebook does it nowadays, it's like you basically have the AI choose your targeting. The ad, once you know the formula, you can literally tell ChatGPT, follow this formula and write an ad, and it does a terrific job. It gets you like 95% of the way there. So as far as like delivering a service, that's a service that you could charge $3-5 grand a month for. And it's almost like once you go through this, like you'll know how to deliver that service. So it's like once you have a high ticket service that actually delivers value, then it's learning how to prospect and then learning how to sell. So it's like, again, you learn the service of being a personal trainer, but you don't get to be a personal trainer until you make a sale, right? Like that exchange. And you don't get to make a sale until you get a lead. So you got to know how to prospect. So again, if you get good at all three of those things, you can write your own ticket. In the next video, what I'm going to do is we're going to go deep in and we're going to look at that education-based marketing video so that you can kind of see this whole process. Like you've seen the ad, now I'm going to show you this, then we're going to go over that, then we're going to go over that, and you're going to see the whole process from cold to sold. How do you take someone who doesn't know who you are, send them out a message, and turn them into, a $3,000 plus high-ticket recurring client with very leveraged service delivery. So I'll catch you in the next video.